Hi, I'm Dr. Carla Soto. I am a dentist in private practice. I'm also a line faculty and a KOL. And as an aligned customer and also as a dentist during these very, special circumstances, I know that there's a lot on my mind and a lot of questions that have come through with some conversations with some of my colleagues, some of my friends, and even questions that I have. And I wanted to take the opportunity to send these questions directly to Align. So I have here Simon Beard. He runs the Americas for Align, and I have Frank Quinn. He runs the US, and I'm really, really honored and really excited to be having this conversation with you guys. So welcome.
Thank you for having us.
So let's jump right to it. How are you guys doing? And not how is Align, we'll get to that later, but I want to know how you guys are doing as a person. Frank?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for asking. I'm doing well. Getting used to the whole new work from home environment, and obviously staying focused on my family and my friends and colleagues, and staying safe and healthy, and trying to find the right routines, and but doing okay. So thank you for asking.
I'm glad to hear that. How about you, Simon? How are you? How's your family?
Well, I'm well and I'm safe. My family's back in the UK, but they're great. They're kind of isolated in the house. Like Frank, getting used to a new routine, learning a lot.
Yeah.
And just thinking a lot about our employees, our customers, just getting used to what's going on at the moment, and looking forward to coming out of it.
Man, I think all of us, even though there is some positive things that have come from, like, connecting with family and staying home, and like you're saying, taking some time to learn and all of that. So there's definitely some positive, but I'm looking forward to, not normal, but whatever it is, the evolution of this, what it's going to be. So I'm really happy to hear that. And I wanted to ask that because we forget that Align is actually people too. So I wanted to make sure, that you guys were doing well and that your families were safe. And I think I'm going to go through some of my questions. Some of these questions came from social media or conversations that I had with some of my colleagues, or I put on Instagram, what questions do you guys have from Align? So this is going to be a combination of those questions and some of my personal questions. The first question is, how is Align handling the pandemic? And I am quoting the question, are you guys freaking out?
I'll take that one. Look, I think we're kind of living through this together, even though it's virtual. And I think the thing that we're all aware of is, there are different challenges and concerns out there. People have got their own personal, professional circumstances. I think the most, the biggest thing is, we've never experienced anything like this, and I don't think anyone has. And then at the same time, we've got employees, we've got customers who are looking to us for guidance. And if you think about it, this is a global pandemic. So we're spending a lot of time thinking about our employees, thinking about our customers around the world, around this region. We got customers in almost every country. What I will say, we've got some very clear priorities, and our first priority is really the health and well-being of our colleagues and their families. And we're doing everything so we can keep them safe and informed and supported. The other challenge, as I'm sure your experience as well, Carla, is just this is an incredibly fluid and dynamic situation. So what the team the team have put together, we've got different work streams. So we're looking at how we can support customers, how we can support our employees. So it's a real team effort for us at the moment. So I wouldn't say we're freaking out, but clearly we're in uncharted waters at the moment.
Right. So I want to know, in particular, like, of course, I know that you're worried about your team and your employees and the families and everyone, but I want to know in particular what you're doing for your customers, because, I am a customer, and these are some, I want to hear some answers. So what are you in particular doing for your customers and for our patients? Because, our patients are indirectly your customers too, during this time to help keep them on track and moving forward with treatment and, so many things. I know there's a lot of resources, but I want to know what you're doing specifically, to keep us moving in this like staying still moment.
Yeah, great question. It's been main topic of conversation pretty much every day, all day at Align. And we're really focused on ensuring that we can provide a continuity of care option for our customers, so that their relationship with their patients, during this crisis and challenging time, is there, right? We want to make sure we're minimizing any treatment disruptions and creating a way for that treatment plan to continue, but also ways for you all to connect with your patients in a very simple virtual way. And so, things that we've done and learned based on our customers' feedback, right, including yourself, right? We've heard from many of our customers that we need some guidance, to provide some guidance on the extended wear option for Invisalign and SmartTrack material.
Yeah.
As patients can't get into the practice, what are the options there? So we've obviously provided some guidance on that. Maybe delaying attachments and IPR, things like this that you deal with every day. And then, so we introduced a new program called Invisalign Hold around additional aligners, no cost, for the shipping fee, which, was something we really batted around a lot, and thankfully asked for customer feedback and got it. So, get up to 6 aligners at no cost, and it will allow you to hold that treatment plan in place. And then we also did things like Smile Consult and Invisalign Virtual Care. These were programs that were very early in pilot phase. I'm talking like very early. We were excited about it. A lot of development went into them. But, it was actually Simon here that really pushed hard on getting these out to a broad set of customers that were interested. And there's thousands of our customers that are using the Smile Consult tool, which is allowing you to connect with consumers that are interested in patients alike in a HIPAA compliant format. And then,
that's what everyone's asking me about. Everyone is always asking me, is it HIPAA compliant? Is it HIPAA compliant? So thank you for clarifying that.
Yes. And then Invisalign Virtual Care, which is the in-treatment option with photo sharing. And, so, we launched those tools really focused on business and patient treatment continuity plans.
So in terms of, there's the 2 phases, right? What are you guys doing in providing us resources, holding patients during treatment and virtual care, which is super exciting. And it's really, it's almost like something to look forward to now that we're doing this and, being able to evolve towards that jump a little bit, faster than probably you guys would have. And then the virtual consult, the Smile Consult has been really amazing for me, because right now we have no access to our patients. And even if we're not talking about Invisalign, we're staying connected. So that's been really, really key right now for me as a customer of you guys. What are you guys doing to help customers from the practice and business standpoint? Because, I'm really excited about all of these resources, but, we need a little bit of help too in the business standpoint. So we need the help. We need help. What are you guys doing for us?
Yeah, I think good question too. We've been looking at this from a holistic perspective, and really one of the driving factors is what can we do to help the most customers as possible. And so that's been the driving force between some of the decisions that we've made. Obviously we've spent some considerable time on this, as much as the time would allow during this crisis situation, and we've really put together a package to support a broad range of customers, including things like the Advantage program, right? So freezing where you began the year in your Advantage program, and we'll take that and just start the second half of the year with that, so folks don't have to worry about any of their discounts or any of their tiers or things that they get with an Advantage. There was another program that we ran called Don't Hold Back at the end of the year, where if you had cleared a certain threshold for Advantage, and then you approved additional cases beyond that, but didn't get to the next tier or your goal that you were looking for, we would took those points in the beginning of 2020 and gave them as a baseline to start the year with. We'll take those points and we'll just start the second half of the year with them too, half of the year with those as well. So just doing some really broad things like that are actually very significant for businesses, and certainly should help coming out of the recovery side of this too. And I talked about the other things like the Invisalign hold. Our replacement program for aligners was historically a fee-based program. We switched that and launched Invisalign hold program during this period of time, where you can get up to 6 aligners or 3 sets and sequential sets if you choose, but really to help provide continuity of care for those patients who are in Invisalign clear aligner therapy. And so something that's free of charge, just has shipping on there. And then also, the iTero subscription fees. We have so many great of our iTero users out there, part of the Align family. And so what we did is deferred payment for April as we get through this crisis for any customers that are in good standing. These are really some broad, significant moves and packages package that we've built to help support our customers.
Awesome.
We can't do everything free of charge, just like any other business. Although we're working our hearts out to try and provide the highest level of value for the most customers. We're just really excited to and looking forward to getting back to business as usual, just as all of our customers are as well.
Yeah.
The last piece I'll just touch on this is, for the Align Foundation, we pledged $1 million to support COVID-19 relief efforts globally through the Align Foundation. We've donated masks and gloves to local hospitals near our U.S.-based offices in Raleigh and San Jose. Any of the PPE that we had, obviously donating to help out in the front line. And then, in addition to the donations, we've been leveraging our technology and expertise in 3D, printing and manufacturing to prepare and provide parts for those PPE needs also in the front line.
That's really cool. That's super cool. Very cool. And for us to be able to take advantage of some of these, resources and some of these, like the iTero being able to, defer that, do we reach out to our TM? Like, how do we make that happen? And the same thing with the Invisalign hold, to order those aligners, can we do it online, like, through our doctor's site, or do we have to call, or how does it work?
And we request call customer care for the Invisalign hold piece.
Okay.
Just not something that's core in our system, but we knew we needed to act fast to provide support for our doctors. So our customer support team is there to help you. And then, any of the other questions, obviously your Invisalign TM is armed with all this information and really would be very happy to help any of our customers out with anything that you need. So.
Excellent. Thank you guys for doing that. Every single little thing helps, and I feel that's a big help. So as a customer, I really appreciate that. Next question. What opportunities do you see coming out of this situation?
I get this question a lot. I talk to a lot of our customers, and it really is dependent on where you are in the journey also, right? So I know a lot of folks are using this time to really take that deeper look into their business, maybe some process, program things, office protocols that we've just been so busy that you really can't tackle all of them. And so I know in speaking to a lot of our customers, they're using this time to really look at those key components of the business that they've always wanted to improve. And I think that, those things, combination with a lot of our customers are really looking and seeking for additional clinical education or, just education in general, right? Tons of webinars and things out there.
Yeah.
But, you can go to our Invisalign Academy. We've moved so much of our content to that virtual digitized format. We're quite busy there, and I think a lot of our customers and doctors are taking this opportunity to address maybe those core needs of the business, maybe some of the clinical pieces that they've wanted to really brush up on. And I think that we've seen such a large amount of our customers really interested in these virtual and remote packages that we've launched recently. That I think there's a great opportunity to use them today, but maybe on how they would be implemented to build efficiency in the practice long term.
Yeah, we never have time for training our team. We never have time to do all the things we want to do, and I thought I personally thought I would have all this time to do all these things, and it's still very busy. But one thing for sure is I'm trying to learn as much as possible, and I'm working on the team even virtually, and some of that training that's available in the academy has been great. So yes, I agree. I think there's so much opportunity, right? It's depending on the perspective that you're looking at it, and if you're looking at the opportunity, you'll find it for sure. So next question. Do you guys have anything to add on how we can improve teledentistry? I know we talked about the virtual care, and we talked about the smile consultation and all of those platforms. Do you have any additional thoughts on that, how we can really try to take it to the next level?
I've got a few.
Oh, please share.
Well, I think the first thing I'd say is that we've currently experienced a crash course in how to improve teledentistry and kind of virtual connections right now. So it's been so far a very exciting journey for us. And I think, the way we use digital technology to interact with patients, either virtually or via phone, is really come to the fore during this kind of crisis. I think the first thing that we believe, and I think has been kind of reconfirmed through this process, is that orthodontic care is best delivered by doctors. Yeah, that's where we kind of stand as a company.
Nice.
And that doctor-patient interaction is really a critical part of that care. Well, then teledentistry can also, it makes sense when the doctor is controlling that treatment and can directly be involved in different aspects, but do them virtually.
Sure.
So the way we're thinking about it at the moment is, if you look at our digital platform, which is iTero and Invisalign and a number of other kind of programs and services we've got now, that now includes Smile Consult and the Invisalign virtual care. So it's kind of broadened our digital platform. And so by putting those together, I think we're going to get better at helping you and your colleagues stay connected with patients. And I think when we come out of this crisis, that's still going to be important. They're probably going to want less visits to an office.
Yeah.
So as Frank said earlier, we accelerated these tools. It was kind of a risk-reward kind of equation for us, and I just believed that the reward was much greater than the risk. And I think we've been proven that the products that we delivered on teledentistry have been pretty stable, and we've been receiving some great feedback. But I think the exciting thing is, I think we can work with yourselves and other doctors to make them so much better. Not only the technology themselves, how do we apply them in kind of the everyday practice situation? So I'm really excited about that piece.
Right. We jumped into using all of this technology for the crisis, but I'm excited to know, and to implement it permanently too. Yeah. I'm already trying to figure out ways for after. That's actually doing a presentation on that with Robin, Dr. Bethel. So I'm really excited about that. I think this is a really good segue to another question that I had, and this I'm kind of like skipping things a little bit here because it does have to do with technology. And there's been, when I asked my friends and what questions do you have for Line, I thought most of the questions were going to be about the actual situation. There's quite some interest in other cool things that you guys are, some news, some things are very, very new, like the 5D, the iTero 5D, and some things, that like the exocad acquisition. So with that, can you guys tell me, as a dentist, what does exocad coming into the picture, what does it mean to me? How does it benefit me? Because it sounds really cool, but I want to know directly how it affects me.
So I'll take that, Carla, and then Frank maybe can talk a little bit about 5D. But just mention, we talk about Align's digital platform, and essentially what Execad does, it strengthens that because it addresses restorative needs in that end-to-end digital platform. So what we're able to do now is to kind of facilitate that ortho-restorative or comprehensive dentistry or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So we see an opportunity to accelerate the adoption of Invisalign with that. The second thing is you'll be aware Execad's they have a lab side access, and it's adopted actually in over 50% of the labs worldwide.
Oh, wow.
So we can really seamlessly integrate the ortho-restorative ecosystem into that.
Okay, cool.
And then we look at ortho-restorative solutions. So it strengthens our platform and it gives us new tools, diagnostic, restorative, orthodontic workflows. And then I think the other game changer for us is clearly with iTero. So we'll be able to give these kind of chair-side workflows. When you're scanning for crowns, seating, within a single appointment. So, because it enables additional kind of chair-side CAD/CAM design, treatment planning, services for iTero doctors. It supports direct-to-lab workflows. So it'll kind of update some of iTero's kind of legacy lab workflows. And what Execs have got are, more modern tools, additional kind of design and treatment planning services for labs. So it's really going to make that iTero data import into an Execad lab CAD/CAM system just so much more seamless. So
wow.
That's why we bought the company, because I think it's really going to help the dentist. It's going to help us, help you have a more kind of seamless approach to the whole kind of ortho-restorative part of your work.
Sounds incredibly exciting, especially, from my point of view where I'm, big picture, restorative and, Invisalign and even surgical part to be able to put it all together. So I'm really excited about that. Frank, even though, once again, the amazing news of 5D, we finally get to have it. I want to know a little bit more. I want to know, and a lot of people are asking me, Carla, like, what exactly is 5D? How, is it faster? Is it cooler looking? Like, why would I be interested in it? And I don't have the perfect answer for that. So if you can help me out, because it's hard to explain. It's almost like something you have to experience. So,
sure.
Talk to me about iTero 5D.
Yeah, I'd say the biggest thing with 5D is really the diagnostic capability that it adds into the doctors and the clinicians, the office, right, and that relationship with the patient. It's, it's the first integrated dental imaging system that simultaneously records in 3D, has an intraoral color, photo taking, and mirror images that enables a comparison over time by using time lapse. Okay. And so you're talking about, really improved diagnostic tools that you're using, you'd probably love to use every day in the practice, but it's all in one unit, one device. And that's, one of the big benefits of the iTero Element 5D. And it's going to wind up being an outstanding complement to traditional X-rays. It's not a replacement, right? It's a complement to it. You're always going to need some sort of radiography in the practice. But it'll really be able to highlight and contrast the comparison over time between caries and healthy tooth structure. And this as well as anybody that, seeing is believing for patients, consumers, all of us alike. Yeah. And to add all of these different capabilities diagnostically, including that interproximal detection is, we believe it's going to be a high value add for not only our doctors, but our doctors' relationships with their patient, which is really the most important thing here. Right. And so we're very excited about 5D. Obviously got 510K clearance at a unprecedented time And so, we're just looking forward to getting into some recovery mode here, back to business, and be able to talk more openly and freely with our customers as they're getting back to work.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, I think that the diagnostic tool is really cool, but it's not cool for me. It's for my patient and for me to be able to communicate everything to my patient. And when I use time lapse for for the structure of the teeth, but now to be able to use time lapse to see, interproximal caries and things like that, I mean, that's really remarkable. I'm so excited. So the next question is, I think we talked a little bit about this, but I want to know a little bit more about, you talked about the technology and everything that you guys are doing and the capabilities to help in the situation with COVID-19. But I heard something about, like you guys acquired some specific, 3D printers to be able, because right now the 3D printers that you have are very customizable, for dental, right? So, but I heard that something about acquiring specific printers to be able to help with the situation, and I thought that was fascinating and super cool. So I want to make sure that I understand exactly what that was. Simon, you look excited about it. Take it.
Well, as Frank says, we're doing a lot of different things around the world. So, Frank talked about a lot of what we're doing in kind of North America, but we're doing things in China, in EMEA, in Costa Rica, in Mexico as well, because obviously we're a global company. So that kind of spreads across the globe. But we have had a lot of questions about, you're the largest 3D printing company in the world. Why aren't you doing more? I think what I'd say to you is, we are leveraging our technology, as Frank said, and we are looking to manufacture face shields and medical swabs. So that is in progress. And then we'll donate those to hospitals where we see the most critical need. Now, I think what is important to understand is that our existing 3D printers are so highly specialized and customized to produce aligners that it was impossible for them to do anything else. So what we did as a company is that we went out and we actually bought some new 3D printers and software in order to make this equipment. The team have pivoted incredibly quickly down in Juarez, and all the engineers who are behind that, and we'll start to see some things coming out in the next week. So really proud of them.
I'm very, very cool, and it makes me, even prouder to have like some association with the name. So thank you guys for doing that too. I think we've managed to talk a little bit about everything, and the main my intention was for us to be able to communicate directly with my friends and my colleagues and all these worries and all these things that we're thinking about. So I really wanted to thank you guys for being so cool about making this interview with me and being able to communicate with my friends. And I think to me the most important thing is to make sure that my friends and my colleagues understand that there are things that you guys can do and you can help some of us, and there's a lot of one-on-one going on, but also that you're listening, and at the very least you're listening, and you can't do it all, but I feel that I feel that you guys are really trying. So I just wanted to thank you guys for doing all that. I wanted to know if you guys have any thoughts on, I know we talked about recovery a lot, but if you have any specific thoughts or anything that we haven't covered on how to start thinking about recovery.
Yeah, I think, I can say, we've all made this switch to this work from home world. We've really focused heavily our entire commercial organization into some very specific work streams. And, these work streams are really around learning and development and education, so that when we do get to that recovery phase, we're there to work even closer in partnership with our customers. And obviously there's so many unknowns that lie ahead for us, but our goal is to provide anything we can to our doctors now in the real time to help with this continuity in patient care, but also really come out fully prepared to step right into the middle of it with you and your staff to do what is necessary to help our customers, in that recovery mode with their business.
As Frank said, we're very much in the here and now at the moment. as an organization, because we understand that's the most important thing that we can be doing. And we're learning a lot, and we're trying to do the right things. I wouldn't call it perfection at the moment, but there's a really strong intent from the team to do what we can to help and support both our employees and also our customers. And we'll get into that, what that recovery looks like, and clearly we need to work with yourself and your colleagues to really understand what you think about that as well. That's a really important lens that we need to have, because you're the experts in your area, you know your businesses and where we can be useful, where we can be relevant. So we'll get into that in the next couple of weeks, and that we look forward to that.
Maybe we can have another one of these at the recovery stage. Thank you guys so much for doing this. I really appreciate it, and and for everything that you guys are doing. So if you have any final thoughts, we'll take them. Thank you so much, Simon, but really, truly, thank you for taking this step on communicating everything to us. So really appreciate you guys.
So thank you, Carla. But also to thank all of our customers for their patience. We understand it's, we call it unprecedented times, and we're here to learn, we're here to help, and we're here to support. So look forward to catching up. Take care.
Thank you, Simon. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.